Today we're going to make some scones because somebody was saying they would like a little help with scones. But the scones we're going to make are a little bit different because milk at the moment is in a bit of short supply, and so as scones are a bit of a cheer up luxury, I thought we'd make it with lemonade instead of milk, which you can do. You can make it with ginger beer as well. It's very simple. I have roped in my husband Charles to help me today because he was asking if we could have scones the other day, and I thought, well, best thing to do is to make sure he can make them and then he can carry on making the scones. So first of all, we have got the ingredients, and we'll put everything up so you can see what's in them. But we've got self-raising flour. I use self-raising flour. I don't use an extra bit of bicarb. I find that if you handle scones carefully, you don't need the extra bicarb, and occasionally it can make it taste a bit soapy. So it's self-raising flour, 250 grams. I've got 55 grams of butter, which have just been chopped up into little bits, and it's been out of the fridge for about 5 minutes, so just beginning to soften up. And then a little pinch of salt. Just put that in there, just a touch more. And that is going to get rubbed in, so that's your job.
Right.
Okay, so fingertips only.
Okay.
Okay, and just and so while he's rubbing the butter in, and it's not too difficult to rub this amount of butter into quite a lot of flour. It's less important how you do it, for example, compared to short crust pastry. But this is a method that you just have to start with. So just keep rubbing the butter in.
Can you use a machine instead? Or is it just, is it going to have to be this?
No, it's going to be you. Yes, you can use a machine. You can use a machine. You could use a food processor. You could use a stand mixer as well if you wanted to rub it in. But this is the old-fashioned way, and actually it really doesn't take long. What you need to do every now and again is rub the bowl and just make sure you're getting it right in and mixing and lifting it all up, and make sure that's it. You get lots of air in it. Make them nice, light and fluffy scones. Now the other ingredients, while he's doing all the work, the other ingredients we've got here are some sugar. It's not that much sugar, it's about 30 grams of sugar. I've got a juice of a lemon and some lemon zest, which I'll show you in a second. And then actually this is a lemon and limeade, but it will work the same way. But any lemonade, canned lemonade that you've got, you can use. And for this, I'm going to use about 250 mils of this. So it'll be just a little bit less than about 150 mils. So it's about half a can. I'm just going to measure that. And that is, okay. And then I might need more, I can add more. Now the thing about that looks great now, that's lovely. So you can see in here, there are just a few little lumps which you can just go through and just go over, but that is pretty well rubbed in now, and it doesn't matter if you have the occasional, and don't go away because I'll need you again.
Oh, right, I was just going to wash my hands.
No, you still got your hands in there.
Oh, right, okay.
Okay, so we're going to put in the sugar, excuse me. Sugar goes in, and this lovely little gadget which my friend Sue gave me is brilliant for lemon zest. I have no idea where she got it from, but it is absolutely brilliant, and that is all grated onto that little platform through there, and that's the lemon zest. Now if you wanted to, you could add some dried fruit to this. You could add some dried apricots or cranberries or sultanas or dried apple, mango, pear, whatever you like. You could add to it just to make it, give a little bit of fruit into it. So if you just mix that in with your hands. Okay, well it's really well mixed. It's good. Okay, now the secret with this is when you add the liquid goes into there and it starts to mix the two raising agents that are present in the self-raising flour together. And the two raising agents are alkali, bicarbonate of soda, and acid cream of tartar. And when they're combined with liquid, they form carbon dioxide gas. And the carbon dioxide is what makes the scone rise. So the two things to remember when you're making scones is to make quite a damp, wet dough, so not dry, but also as little handling as you can possibly manage. Because if you keep kneading it and handling it and pushing it down, all the carbon dioxide that's in there is going to be lost, and it doesn't make any more than the amount that it starts off with. It carries on to a level and then it stops producing any. So you can now, if you can keep it, I know some people don't like having dirty hands, but if you can use that.
Yeah.
Okay, and then we'll just make a bit of a well in the centre. And I'm going to first of all put in the lemon juice, and then I'm going to put in the liquid. It's all frizzy and there we go.
Okay.
Yeah, mix so quite rapidly using a knife or some sort of dough mixer.
But not a spoon.
Well, you can use a spoon, it sort of tends to trap the stuff in the bowl of the spoon, whereas a knife is quite good. So mix all the way around, right to the edge, make sure you're getting all those crumbs in. And only when you feel that it's coming together reasonably well do you want to put your hand in. Very good. Good. Okay, now I have managed to make this a little bit wet, which is fine, but I'm going to add a little bit of flour, and then I'll just show you what to do with this. Because I want it to be a nice soft dough. So we'll put a bit of flour on the tabletop, a bit of that. And this is self-raising flour as well. And then just get some flour on your hands and just bring this together. And the things that can affect this are sometimes you've got quite a lemon, that was quite a juicy lemon. So some lemons might have more juice than others, but it's fine, just make it nice and soft and bring it out onto the top like that. And then you can just rub your hands off into there. In fact, a good way of cleaning your hands is to put a bit of flour on your hands. And we're all used to washing hands at the moment, but really just use the flour to get all those crumbs off so you no longer have damp, sticky hands. Okay, put that away. And then we've got our mixture here. So I'm going to add a little more flour because it's a little bit soft. And then bring it together. And we're going to cut these into. So now you can use a rolling pin if you like, but what I want you to do now is don't make them too thin. So I usually just pat them out. So a little, about that thick. You can either do them plain or you can do them fluted, and just a little bit of flour on there, and then cut and take that out. It should go onto the tin like that. As I say, I've made these quite wet. These are quite wet, but they're fine, and I would prefer to have them like that rather than too dry. So I'll do another one. I'll get you to do some in a minute. So you can have them.
On a baking sheet, can you put some?
I put some paper. No, well you can, but if you've got baking parchment, it won't stick on there. But you can otherwise grease it with whatever. I wouldn't use butter, but oil you can use, or some people use lard. And that one there. And then just bring it together very quickly. Okay, and then it out again. So if you want to cut some out from that, I might just make it long actually, so you can get 2 out of that quite easily. That's it. Snift it. Okay, you might get one more and a little, what I would call cook's perk.
What about Dad's perk?
Yeah, maybe Dad's perk. Maybe. Okay, so cut that one out. Getting a little bit close together. You can have them quite close so that they can either be separate, or you can put them close so that they sort of almost kiss each other, which will keep them quite nice and moist. I'll put that one there. Alright, and then this final one here, which, as I say, I would just bring together. Into a little one. Okay, they're going to go into the oven. Now you can brush them with a little bit of egg wash if you want to, or milk, or you can just dust them with a little bit of flour if you prefer to do that. We've got plenty of flour on here, so we just use that. And they go into the oven, and they'll probably take about 12 minutes. This size, maybe if they were smaller they might take a little less. If they're bigger ones they'll probably take about 15 to 20 minutes. So 12 to 15 minutes. They're going in at 190 degrees fan, so quite a hot oven, and then we'll have a look at them when they're finished. Okay, so when it comes out of the oven, we're just going to pop it onto a wire rack in a way that keeps them nice and soft on the top, if you like soft top scones, is to just put them underneath a tea towel just for a few minutes before you serve them. There we are, all wrapped up. And just leave there for a little while, and then we're going to taste them.
Looking forward to that.
Okay, so the scones are ready. They've cooled down a little bit, so here they are. And we covered them with the towel just to keep the top soft. So, would you like to try one?
I would. I'm really looking forward to it. Do we do it the Devon way or the Cornish way?
Well, we haven't got any cream, so that sort of stops that. But I prefer it the Cornish way, which I think is jam first and then quite a lot of cream on top.
Oh right, then I prefer the Devon way. Because you have jam on the, so you get cream on the top, you get cream on your moustache.
We haven't got a moustache. But you lived in Cornwall for all those years, and you do. Oh dear, that's going to go down badly. Now, help yourself.
I haven't got a moustache.
No, you haven't. You did in those days, I suppose. A beard.
Okay.
Yeah, go on. And then we've got some butter and some jam, and the jam is it's Dams and cheese that I made a little while ago. A little bit of butter. Oh, it smells lemony. Can you smell the lemon?
You can, yes. And I'm going to wash it down with a glass of lemonade.
The vast lemonade. Yeah, okay, so have a little taste and see what you think. I'm ahead of you.
Oh, yeah, sorry about that. So this is Dams and jam, is it?
Dams and cheese. Good?
I don't know.
Good.
Lovely. And wash it down with lemonade.
Wash it down with lemonade. Then we have to do the bump.